Hello folks, in this video we're looking at another key Pygame concept, which is the rectangle. Rectangles allow you to position and move things around a screen, and they're also used for collision detection. In fact, they're such a key part of Pygame that they have their own class. These screenshots show examples of my games. The entire level is built with rectangles, they just aren't visible in the finished game. Let's take a look at how to create rectangle objects. I've got my base Pygame project created here with my game screen, my game loop, and my event handler. I'm also filling the background with a white color, and I'm using this flip function to update the screen with the rectangles that we're going to draw. There's another section here that might not seem familiar, which is setting a clock and using the tick function. I'm not going to go into it too much in this video, but all you need to know is that this allows me to set the frame rate of the game to 60 frames per second. If I run this code, I just end up with a white screen with nothing on it that I can close down. There are a couple of ways to create rectangles. The first approach is to create them from scratch. To do this, we call the rect function and pass the necessary arguments to create the new rectangle object. We'll go up above here, above the clock, and we'll start to define the first rectangle. We'll name this rect_1, and we'll call pygame.rect. Now the arguments that are needed for a rectangle are the x and y coordinates, which I'll set to 200 and 100, and then the width, which will be 150, and the height, which will be 100. I can now run a print statement underneath this, which will say print rect_1, and this will output the data of the rectangle when I run the game. So you can see down here, it's given me the same inputs that I just put in, and it's created a rectangle object. But notice that when I run the game, the rectangle doesn't actually show up on the screen. For that, we need to call the draw function. I'm going to get rid of this print statement, and I'll go down into the while loop, and underneath this screen.fill section, I will call pygame.draw.rect. If you've already seen my video on shapes, then you'll know the arguments that are needed here. The first one is my game window, which is screen, as I've defined it up here. The second one is the color, which I'll pass in as 255.0.255. And then the third one is the rectangle itself, which is rect_1, as we just created up here. If I run this again, I'm now going to get this magenta looking rectangle in the middle of the screen. When created this way, the x and y position define the top left corner of the rectangle, and the width and height are added from that point. If we set these two coordinates to 0 and 0, and run this again, the rectangle is going to appear in the top left corner, and it's going to move across by 150 and down by 100. So let's set that back to how I had it before, and we can take a look at the second method of creating rectangles. And to do that, we can derive them from an existing object. So rather than creating them from scratch, we can use something like an image and pull the rectangle shape from the image outline. If I open up the folder structure, you can see that I've got this soldier.png file next to my main.py file. And this image has a soldier within a little rectangular shape. So I can use this image and create a rectangle of the exact same dimensions. First of all, I need to load in the image. I'm going to do this above my rectangles, and I will say soldier is equal to pygame.image.load. The image file name is soldier.png. And at the end, I just add .convert_alpha to maintain the transparency of that image. Now with that loaded in, underneath rect1, I'm going to create a second rectangle, which will be rect_2. But this time I can just pass in the name of that variable, which is soldier, and then the get_rect function. I can run a print on this one as well now, so I'll say print rect_2. And when I run this, we can see down here, it's coming up with a new rectangle properties. Now I never defined any of these, so it's set at coordinates 0, 0 for the x and y. It's got a width of 112 and a height of 144. And that's just the size of that image. We can draw this image on the screen now together with the rectangle to see how it looks. So let's delete this print statement and go down into my game loop where I'm currently drawing rectangle 1. And underneath that, I will draw rectangle 2. I'll say pygame.draw.rect. Pass in the screen variable, then the color, which I will set as 0.255.255, and then pass in rect_2. Next, I want to draw the soldier image. I will say screen.blit. The image I want to blit is just the soldier variable, and then the coordinates I'm going to pass in as 0 and 0. If I run this again, you can now see my rectangle coming up here with the soldier image right inside it. And you can see that the outline of the rectangle is exactly the same as the outline of the image was. There are different things we can change on these rectangles. So firstly, we can change the position. Now if we go back up, when this rectangle was created, it's just created at 0, 0. So it comes up in the top left corner. But right underneath that, I can say rect_2 dot top left, and I can pass in a pair of coordinates here. So let's say 200 and 200, and I run this again, and now that rectangle has moved down here. Notice that the rectangle has moved, but the soldier image has stayed where it was. Since that rectangle is associated with the soldier image, we want them to move together. We'll come to this shortly. Now aside from top left, there are other options here. So we can set center, for example, and now it's going to position the middle of the rectangle at those coordinates. And then we can just pass an individual coordinate, so we can say left is equal to 200. So now the Y coordinate is unchanged, but from the left of the screen it moves in by 200 pixels. I won't go through all of them just now, but there's a definition for each point on the rectangle that you can change. For now, let's set this back to what we had before, which was top left equal to 200 and 200. The width and height of the rectangle can be modified in the same way. We won't mess around with rectangle 2, but let's go back up here and change the width and height of rectangle 1. We can say rect_1 dot width is equal to 400, and then rect_1 dot height is equal to 150. And if I run this again, it's completely changed my rectangle. So it's 400 wide and 150 tall. Now let's put this back to how it was. Now earlier on, when we moved the soldier rectangle, the soldier image stayed where it was. To resolve this, we can use the rectangle to position the image on the screen. So we go down to where the image is being blitted, which is down here, and instead of passing coordinates 0, 0, I can just replace this with the rectangle. So I can pass in rect_2. And if I run this again, you will notice that the soldier has moved from being up here to being inside, perfectly positioned in his rectangle. This is a key concept of how rectangles are used in Pygame. In a finished game, what you're seeing is just the sprites, but their positions and collisions are actually being done by the rectangles behind the scenes. We move the rectangle first, then we draw the image in its place. So far, we've looked at creating rectangles, updating their properties, and using them to position images. Next, let's look at how to move and manipulate rectangles in real time. I'm going to add some keyboard inputs here. Just underneath this screen.blit function, I'm going to get my key presses. Now say key is equal to pygame.key.get_pressed. If you aren't familiar with this, I've done a separate tutorial on keyboard inputs, and I'm going to link that up above. I'm going to be using WASD to move this around, so I'm going to be looking for those specific keys. I can say if key pygame.k_a is equal to true, well then I want the rectangle to move to the left. In that case, all I need to do is update the rectangle's x coordinate. I can say rect_2.x is subtracted by 5. Then I can copy this down and just duplicate it for the D key, which moves the player or the rectangle to the right hand side. So all the changes here is we add 5. Instead of subtracting it, we add 5 to the x coordinate. Now I can copy this down again and repeat this for the W key to move up. Now, because we're moving up, it's the y coordinate that's changing and it's being subtracted by 5. We copy this one last time, and this time it's the S key. And now we're adding 5 to the y coordinate. Now we can run this. And as I press those keys, I'm moving the rectangle around the screen. Now, because the soldier is being blitted at the position of the rectangle, it's moving with it. And this method directly alters the rectangle's coordinates. Another way to do this is using the .move or .moveIP methods. The move method will keep the original rectangle and return a new one that has been moved. So I prefer to use the moveIP method. This moves the original rectangle instead. So that instead of manually updating the x and y coordinates, I can say rect_2.move_IP, which stands for move in place. And in here, I pass in the movement in the x coordinate and the movement in the y coordinate. Well, just like before, I'm moving left on the x direction, so it's -5, and nothing in the y direction, so it's just 0. I can repeat this for the rest of them. So we can get rid of this one, and we're adding 5. In fact, it doesn't even need to be, it's just a +5. Then we can change this one. So the X direction is 0, the Y direction is -5. And for the last one, which is moving down, X direction again is 0, Y direction is 5. And if I run this again, I get the exact same result as before. Now that you've seen how to create rectangles and how to move them around, we can get rid of this section that actually draws the rectangles on the screen, but leave this section for blitting the soldier. If I run this again and I move it around, you can see that all we're getting is the soldier. But now you understand that behind this is actually the rectangle that's doing pretty much all of the work. The other main feature of rectangles is collision detection, but that's something I'm going to cover in a separate video. If you found this video useful, then please leave a like and I'll see you in the next one.